Does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family?
Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And shalom to you sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning, and to you brothers preaching and teaching this truth through the four corners of the earth. As the brother Nathan come out of the GMS Indianapolis camp. And coming back with a quick video. Let's see here. It's a clip from the Oprah Winfrey show. 1989, it says got banned, you know. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get in this video, and then we get some scriptures and get off of it. Give me a second here.
There were people every morning.
Does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl.
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really? Things. You don't have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know...
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not, or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back.
Anyway, so you witnessed the sacrifice?
Right. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Uh-huh. Power. Does everyone else think it's a...
Yep, see, and that's what these wicked Amalekites, which are the so-called you wish, right? The tiny tops, all right, which is the chief house of Esau, all right, the so-called white man. Okay, you know, these people they're blood drinkers. All right, they're doing. You just heard it right there. Child sacrifice. All right, because what? Because they worship the spiritual demon Satan. Okay? And that's why it says what? Let's get to it. This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Well, who's the wicked? Pursuing the Malachi 1:4, it talks about Esau, Edom is what? The border of wickedness. All right? So when it comes down to wickedness, hey, he's the head of it. Okay? He was created to be, all right, the wicked too. The so-called white man. All right, that's his job on the earth, to cause all this chaos and be the villain. Right? And mind you, a lot of these villains always pretend to be what? The hero. Right? But you see Oprah, wicked ass, you know, Eve, you know, all intrigued, you know, she wasn't even really astonished by it. She was more so, hey, okay, for power, all right. Well, what's the details? Don't gotta be too graphic, you know. And you wonder why she's a multi-billionaire. And it ain't off of the talk show because she's one with the devil herself, man. All right, and all these entertainment jakes that are high up in you know, high up in the upper echelon, you know, guess what? They take part of this. All right, so the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right, because Esau, even the so-called white man, has painted himself as the image of the Most High. All right, he's made Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus, right? Made him into a so-called white man, all right, after his image, all right? You know, covered up all the prophets, you know, the disciples, and made it look like it's them, which is not. All right, they're a plague to the earth. They're parasites. All right, they just take, all right, and destroy everything around them. All right. They're not one with the earth. So that's why Yahweh Shai is going to step in and destroy these people, man. Because why? Because wickedness hath exceedingly polluted our whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, all right? That's why you see Yahweh Shema Shai working, all right, destroying the wicked of our people, of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, those of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Then you see these heathen getting jacked the hell up who've made this stuff in league with Esau, even the so-called white man. And then the Lord is saving what? The so-called white man, all right, the best for last, all right, because it's going to be Yahweh Shai that's going to take them down, okay? Yahweh Shai has already taken down Esau Edom, what, via his word, through the mouth of the prophets, starting with our apostles and elders, a great millstone on down, all right? You know, these words are what, sharper than any two-edged sword, you know, says that what, Hebrews 4 and 12. All right, so it's doing damage. And so all they're doing is practicing witchcraft with these child sacrifices. And you see that, like, where's the uproar? Where's the outcry? Even back then, was it 1989 it said? How are these people just able to do that? Because what? They're in rulership. So they're able to tell you the wickedness that they've done. And then that's like that Rabbi Finkelstein, all right, telling you that they're putting people in the hamburger meat and all this and that. All right. So these small tops, all right, these tiny top people, they're able just to move and groove throughout the earth and do whatever the hell they want to. Because what? It's been given into their hands. That's why they're not getting prosecuted. That's why they're able to commit all types of atrocities over here in America and then just get sent back to the land of Israel. All right, like, as a safe haven. You know, just to continue their wickedness. This is Exodus chapter 22, verse 18. It says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." See, and all that witchcraft they're performing, the Lord is bringing up is running up a tab on these people, man. All right, they're not going to be able to escape the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's why the Lord is, you know, that He's ending the relationship of the left-hand side and Esau, even the so-called white man, you know, via the spiritual demon Satan. All right, the Lord is lowering that. So Esau, like I said, what? The devil, let me get that real quick. It's Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And that's why Esau, one, he's being exposed by Yahweh Shema Shai, that made Esau bare, right? He's uncovered his secret parts, Jeremiah 49:10. All right, so like these clips from, you know, years back, is, you know, it's starting to come back and expose their wickedness, all right? Whether it be from books, like clips like this, you know, everything's starting to come back and show that these people are the devil that the Bible speaks of, all right? And that's how they rule in wickedness. Let's go back to that. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, it reads, "Because sins against an evil work is not executed speedily." What's an evil work? What's part of an evil work? Child sacrifice, sacrificing people in general. All right, you know, that's an evil work, man. And here it is. They're using that as a form to, you know, as they worship, you know, gain power. But even though, you know, Yahweh Shema Shai, He controls both sides, the good and the evil. All right, Isaiah 45 and 7 talks about that. All right, so he's got this devil, Esau, even the so-called white man, all right, doing these rituals, okay, as part of his maintaining his power, even though the Lord's got an expiration date on this kingdom, okay? It says, "Because sins against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully in them to do evil." And that's what's happening. Here it is. They're continuing to do evil. They continue to do sacrifices. Children come, especially here in America, and then all over the world. Millions of children go missing, right? Oh, you wonder why? Because of things like this. And see, they got breeders too. People breeding, just having children just to for sacrificial ordeals, right? And here it is, you're on one of the most famous talk shows, just spewing out all that. Where's the FBI? Where's all that? Well, guess what? They're not going to be in trouble because what? Let's go. Let's go to this. Let's go to Psalm 73 in verse 5. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Why? Because once again, Job 9:24, for the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. All right. We know part of Esau's blessing, right? Genesis 27th chapter is what? He had the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven. So part of that, guess what? He's able to make the laws. He's able to control the money. He's able to control life and death. You know, putting himself in the power of the Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shai, which he thinks he's doing that. The Lord's controlling him. Proverbs 20:24 says what? Man's goings are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? So the Lord just made him a perfect demon. Okay? You know? So sometimes you be thinking, you know, through the spirit, like, you really can't get mad at Esau, the so-called white man. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. You know? But, you know, we still get angry because, hey, that's the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai on us. Because we know what's supposed to be right on earth. We know how things are supposed to go. You know, so, but the Lord's anger, you know, comes out through us too, man. Because we're tired of seeing wickedness. We're not okay with this. That's why we're sighing and crying for all the abominations done in the midst thereof. You know? It says, verse 6, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, and it says, violence covereth them as a garment." See? So they just rob, steal, kill, and destroy everything in this path, all right, on their wicked agendas, because what? The power was given to them. All right? That's why they're able to tell you, oh yeah, we've been doing all the, you know, many small top families do this, you know, child sacrifice. All right? Hey, you see that in these eyes, these devils are soulless, and she ain't feel bad about that. She just bringing it out. That's part of making Esau bear. All right. This is let's see here. This is Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "Woe," which means destruction, "to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery." Right? And, you know, modern day Nineveh is what? America. All right? Babylon the Great. Okay? It's the same. Hey, nothing new under the sun, right? It says, "The prey departeth not." Right, so the Lord wants this place destroyed because what? Of all the blood that's been shed therein, right? Because matter of fact, what does Numbers say? Let's get that. This is Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." All right, so that's why Esau Edom's going to pay. All right, that's why the here in America, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, and all these wicked ass people in it, for especially chiefly Esau Edom, the so-called white men, for the blood that's been spilled. All right, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel, because they got blood in their hands too, because they've taken a part of the witchcrafts and the whoredoms of America under Esau Edom, so-called white man. All right, they've taken part of it. So they're going to be destroyed. And then our homeland in Israel, Jerusalem, that's going to be wiped clean. All right, because what? All the defiled blood in there. All right, so that's going to have to be cleansed and then built back up. Okay? Back to Nahum chapter 3, verse 2 says, "The noise of a," it said, "the prey departeth not," right? Because and who's the prey? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We haven't been granted money and sponsorship to be sent back to our land, and they haven't said, no, you guys are the real Hebrew Israelites. You are the, God's chosen people. No, they ain't trying to do all that. No, they're trying to keep us in bondage forever. It says, the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain. And there is multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses. And there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. Right. America, Babylon the Great here, everybody's gone after this hoe, man, following after his ways. Even when it comes to witchcraft, man, these people are dealing in heavy, demonic dealings, man. And that's including our own people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. You falling in love with this harlot as well, just like these other nations, man. It says, the mistress of witchcraft, see? Yep, because that's what's taking place here, man. Well, you heard the lady, man. They've been doing sacrifice since she was little. They made her take part of that. So it says, what, the soul that is not upright in them, right? But the just shall live by faith. Yep, so that's the wicked. Right? Their soul is not upright in them, man. It says, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts, right? They make you believe, they wrap up this witchcraft and these demonic customs and polish it all up to make it look good, right? To make it look like you're doing the right thing. To make it seem like this is the only way you're going to succeed is by doing this wickedness. All right, y'all, you don't want to be poor no more? You want a piece of the pie? Well, this is what you got to do. Yeah, continue to follow. Then go after our wicked ass holidays, like Christmas, all right? Halloween, Thanksgiving, all this Easter, all this pagan worship, right? All right? Which a lot of it goes back to what? Sacrificing, children and stuff, right? But see, y'all don't want to look into nothing, man. Especially you, 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all love this place, man. All right, you love the witchcraft. You love, you love rolling up your blunts and different drugs because you what? Cause that's a form of witchcraft. That's what y'all love to do. Y'all rather have it this way. That's okay. So you're gonna be burnt up and die in this place. Verse 5, behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, which is what it said, Lord of armies, right? Yahweh of armies, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And see, that's what's starting to happen. All these nations, including the nation of Israel, the real nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, those are the hopeful elect. All right, we're seeing all the wickedness that you have performed on this earth. Because Esau, even the so-called white man, all right, you've done these other nations horribly. Gave them bullshit deals just to stab them in the back and take their resources under the guise of protection. All right, and then guess what? Of these other nations, you got the Esau Edom's practicing vaccines and different diseases on people. Especially in the land of Ham, right? These people's children are gone missing as well. Because they're such in poor conditions. They're willing to sell their children off for a quote unquote better life, and they're getting trafficked, like sacrificed, all that. And the Lord's been exposing all that. All right, not only to us of the hopeful elect, because the Lord has opened our eyes to it, but these heathen nations that have been in league with Esau, even so-called white man, they're starting to see the wickedness. And then, but see, even of our own people, they matter of fact, let's get this. This is Jeremiah 5 and verse 26, and it reads, because that's why I see that was the spirit of Oprah. You seen it? She was intrigued, man. She wasn't horrified like the rest of the people in that crowd. They were looking like, oh my goodness. But Oprah, she was intrigued. Oh really? Oh, so how hey, how y'all go about it? She answered. This is Jeremiah 5 and 26. For among my people are found wicked men and women. They lay wait as he that set the snares. They set a trap. They catch men. Right, and Oprah's part of that too. That believe in yourself and do as thou wilt spirit. And where'd she learn that from? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right, because she's gained riches on this side. So guess what? You poisoning the minds of your own people. Pushing that same spirit of doing what thou wilt. All right. I mean, like I said, them upper echelon Jakes, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, even Kanye West, all these entertainers, movie stars, they've done all types of wickedness behind the scenes up in Hollywood, right? For doing, freak offs, doing sacrifices, taking out their own people, rather mother, father, brother or sister, all these weird occurrences that keep happening, right, within their circles. And then all of a sudden, they're getting new movie roles, bigger record deals, all kinds of stuff. Oh, you wonder why? Because they're rehearsing, not the righteous acts. See, they're rehearsing the wicked acts of what? Esau, Edom, instead of the righteous acts like the Lord said in Judges 5 and 11. Nah, y'all want to be like your oppressor. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich. Why? Why? Because they have joined unto the devil, man. They didn't followed after Esau, even the so-called white man, through the spiritual demon Satan, man. In verse 28, they are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. See, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, those are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You've surpassed the deeds of the wicked because you're the best at everything. You're the salt of the earth. Even when it comes to being wicked. Esau show you how to do sacrifice and everything. You just take it worse. You go worse with it. You make it, you go harder. Especially when it comes to that alphabet community stuff, man. Jake all flamboyant and way out there, pushing all these wicked agendas, pushing death culture, pushing all this, everything against Yahweh Shem Shai. But all these Jake entertainers and celebrities or whatever, but when they get these awards and stuff on a high level in Esau's kingdom, they always give glory to God. Shit, what God? It ain't the God of the Bible. It's the devil, Satan. It says they judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. That's right. All right, because what? They're after their own bellies, man. Just like these Jakes and these other camps, man. All right, getting down for filthy lucre's sake, man. Watering down the doctrine. All right, because what? Whether they are or not, they're in league with Satan. They're whether they know it or not. Or they done took that bag. Esau Edom done came and knocked on that door. Or they done got that phone call. All right. So now they're trying to water things down into that whole Christianity spirit. God loves everybody, and everybody can make it. Salvation for everyone. Man, salvation is exclusive to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. But now, see, hey, it's just the Lord exposing everything, man. So yeah, but you see, man, the wicked is being revealed in every scenario, every case, man. We're seeing case upon case upon case of Esau, Edom, so-called white man, all right, being unmasked and showing that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So with that, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and others of Great Millstone, rule well. Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom.